Well, the last iron shot I hit with them was a 7-iron at the last. So that could be a cool one, wouldn't it?
I'd say long iron for you because you were always fantastic long iron.
I used to love hitting my 3-iron, 2 and 3 irons. Yeah, I was pretty good at them. Well, Sevi was tough because Sevi was bouncing around and you never knew what, and he never gave in. I mean, and you never knew what was going to happen next. I mean, I played with him the last day at Lytham on that Monday. And that was probably the greatest round of golf I've ever witnessed next to another guy. And he was, you know, in the hay. You see the hay flying around, and the ball would be on the green. And then the ball would be in the hole, and you're going down the middle under the 3-putt. Great, thanks. But he was great. I mean, Sevi was, you know, the passion he showed at the Ryder Cup was amazing. But he got away with murder when he was the captain. You know, oh my goodness, because, you know, the beginning of the week, it was so, the beginning of the week, he said, I don't want any under pressure. I just want you to play, enjoy yourself, and good luck, you know, and have it, you know. And then, of course, and then he had, he decided to, you know, remember those pan pipes, those whistly things? That was the music he put in the locker room for us. And so the caddies would quickly change that to something, and then Sevi come out and put the CD back in, put a cassette then, you know. And so, and then on, of course, Saturday night, now we have a chance. We have to win! He said, I want you to hit it on the green. I don't want you to hit it in the trees. Don't hit it in the bunkers, and don't 3-putt, he says. I thought that's really good for the old visualization, you know. What are we visualizing? But, you know, we lucked out and won. But he was great. I played a lot of practice rounds with him. You know, unfortunately, after his passing, we didn't play a lot of competitive golf. But in our day, I didn't appreciate how much we did. And we played a lot of practice rounds across Europe and things, and he'd always be showing you a shot or something. So I was at Bay Hill one day, and on the putting green, and he was on the bunker green, and the crowd started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He's hitting bunker shots. So when I had a look, and he's in there hitting bunker shots with a 3-iron. Right? He'd open up the face and go, and send this thing out. So being me, of course, I thought, oh, I'll try that. So I go home and back to, you know, try that. A couple of weeks later, we played practice round at TPC, and they had a horrible bunker on the front right of 18, you know, about this wide. And he says, and we're coming up, he says, okay, he says, we have a bunker competition. I said, sure, no problem. He says, I choose the club. I said, sure, whatever you want. He says, I choose a 3-iron. I said, yeah, sure, no problem at all. He says, you go first. I said, okay, I'll go first. So I get in there, and I worked it out, boom, and I hit this thing out to about 10 feet. He looks at me, he says, okay, that's pretty good. And he gets in there, and he just gives it one of these. And this thing comes, and he backs it up with a 3-iron. All right, gotcha. Different.
Not really, because, you know, they're all very different, and they all come at a totally different time in your career. You know, the first one was a completely was handling that situation. You know, I felt good that week, and then got better and better through the week, and obviously to go out Sunday with a chance to win the Open and experience that feeling for a whole day of knowing that you know, one great shot's going to win it, one bad shot's going to cost you it. And that was the first time you really felt the pressure of that. But then as I moved on, I'm very proud of the fact that when I went back, so after I won the Masters in '89, I then went back the next year, and something clicked about a month before, and I thought, rather than going, you know, getting all wound up and trying to defend, I thought, no, just go and win another one. You know, change the whole mindset. And I went there with the intention then to win it, which I did, and then that carried on. So every time I went to those next majors, I went with the intention to win, and that obviously I then went on to St Andrews, and then up to Muirfield as well. So those three in the middle, I'm pretty proud of. Dead. Right, thank you, good night. Oh, we're back in, we're back live. Oh my God. So those three in the middle, you know, taking that extra pressure, going in as favourite, St Andrews obviously was great to win there. It was the home of golf and the sunshine, they could enjoy it. There's coming up the last couple of holes. But then most people, the cool thing for me, most people, you know, a lot of people come up to America and go, did you win 1 or 4 Opens? Was one a Birkdale? And you're like, no. But so many people will come up and go, 96, Masters, you and Greg. They get all the facts. So many people watched that one. So that's probably, that was probably my most recognisable major.
I'll give you my crash course 101 in sports psychology. So, you guys, ladies, this evening, I assume you're all in your offices, and when you left in your mode of transport, whatever it was, you all jumped in your car, and hands up, how many of you said, don't drive to Stevenage? Right? You said don't drive to Stevenage. No chance. Anyway.
First time I met you played with Tiger Woods over the golf course.
Yeah, right. So you didn't. So then you arrived here, and outside, and how many of you said, don't go to McDonald's? None of you, right? And you walked, Daddy's another dilly. What are you drinking? And as you walked in here, how many of you said, don't fall over that chair? Right? So how many of you stand up on the first tee and go, oh, don't hit the trees, right? Don't top it in the pond, yeah? It's the don't word. You guys talk, when I give a lesson and I say, what are you trying to do? Most of them go, I don't want to slice it. So what did you just see? Yeah? So that's where you have to change. So to cut a long story short, then, so I do this, and so if you can't do it, you never have and you never will, right? You're that useless. So if you can't do it, you never have. So the best thing to do is get somebody else to do it for you, yeah? Yeah? So in golf...
You've just ruined it, Miss Golf.
No, so in golfing terms is you put your hero in front of you to do it for you. So you go, well, of course Faldo would hit it on the green from here, or Tiger would hit it on the green, wouldn't he? He hit it to 10 feet and hold the putt. Yeah, right?
Good shot, Tiger.
So if you can
I
then...
play at Chart, you're on the first fairway.
What's that?
I play at Chart Hills, you're on the first fairway.
Still? What now?
Yeah.
You mean my 2 balls are on the first fairway?
Yes.
Behave.
Wow.
Christ, you said that was like America. They hit the back wall, they didn't get it. Anyway. Jesus, right? It's tight. Yeah. Anyway, so get somebody else to do it, right? I'm being serious now. So if you can't do it, when you come to that famous island green wherever, and you know you're going to hit in the pond, don't you? Always have. Never, no chance. Always will. Get me? So get somebody else to stand up in front of you, and I call it getting in the ghost. So if you can visualize, see somebody else make the swing, hit it on the green, you click, I call it clicking into ghost, just walk up. So the example I give, I was in Vietnam, opening a golf course, and I went out onto this hole, and it's par 5, and this lady comes up to me. I've got to play the hole with a lady, a husband, and a couple of other guys, I think. And she comes, I'm not going to play. I said, I don't want to do this. I said, I've got an experiment, let's try this. So I teed up a ball, 2 balls, right there. And I said, right, you stand here, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to swing, hit the drive, I'm going to walk out the pitch, I'm not going to say a word, you're going to walk up, you're just going to click into my ghost and make a swing and hit it, right? And unbelievable, it works. So I did that, she hit it 150 yards, we did it 3 times down the hole, she got on the green in 2 putts, we did everything, the putting, she took a 5, her husband took a 9.
This is my 10th season with television, and so you know, I thought about it briefly, but I went out a couple of times with my son, and I used to look at these golfers and go, I used to beat these 25 years ago, and all they are is fatter and greyer now. So it's a much better gig doing TV. The one we're very excited about was the one in Vietnam, which we opened just over a year ago, because the in thing that we're looking for is different environments around the golf course. Rather than it being the same, trees or just whatever. This one we played through rice fields to start off with, then we head into the jungle, then we got some sand dunes, and then we got some beach, and then we play along a river, and then we come through a rock outcrop, and then we finished the last three holes. We went crazy with the blowout bunkers and sand everywhere. So very cool to have a golf course with that many different kind of environments. So that's probably the one we're hanging our hat on right now. Loch Ern's great. I mean, Loch Ern's going to have the Irish Open in 2017, which is pretty cool. Very excited about that, because that's a lovely spot. Very natural golf course, especially when all you see is countryside. That's really what I like about that one. You can sit there on the tee, and you've got the loch behind you, and you look up in the hills. It's not going to change. It's just forest or farmlands or whatever, or lochs, and so those views won't change. So it's a very nice spot. Well, for trout, I love trout fish with sight fishing. It's not sitting on the riverbank and just waiting for your float to go down. You actually see a trout and he's rising, and you've got to work it out, and you've got to have a skill to cast it, because you've got to land the thing right in front of his nose. But if he takes it straight away, you got him. So you can carry it, and then you get posher or more expensive. You then do bone fishing in the Bahamas, that sort of thing. So that's, and then you get for bigger beasts, you go for tarpon, on a fly rod that's leaping out of the water and that sort of thing. So but it's the fact you're actually hunting fish, even though we put them back because we love them, and but it's the actual hunt of seeing the fish, working out what he's doing, and the thing about bone fishing is it's really like golf, because if you screw up, it's like a double bogey, because if your line's wrong, he's off. If your hook's not right, he's off. If the tension and your drag's not right, he's off. I mean, so it's like, I did any mistake in that, and it's double bogey straight away. You lost the fish. So that's how I would, get those two the same. I wrote it in my book. Everybody thinks it's a big thing. No, I genuinely felt for the guy, because I thought, I'm lucky. I've won majors, I've lost majors, but I have no scars from the losses, which is pretty nice, really. You screwed up, but whatever. But with a 6-shot lead, it was people talk that way. You're going to win, and for him to blow it, and so I said, hey, I don't know what to say, mate. I want to give you a hug. So and then I knew it was heading to the press afterwards. I just said, don't let the bastards get you down, because I knew where he was heading to the lion den. So he handled it pretty darn well. I mean, I don't think I could have walked in there and dealt with it quite like that. Yeah, it's a tough links, my goodness. It was a bit of a shock to jump off the plane from America and then walk out, and it's blowing like 20 miles straight in your face. It went from lovely fairway to hay, both sides. And so, no, it was a great, lovely golf course. It's a shame that the only thing that got to me was the fact you finished the green and you went back 200 yards to get to the next tee to start the next hole. But that's what the dreaded game has done now. They hit it all too far.